We today are going to dedicate our 289th park in the city of Albuquerque. And when you think about that, that's an amazing accomplishment for a city of our size, and it really makes us one of the great park cities in America. And we are today in Foothills for the appropriately named Foothills Park opening. And with me is City Councilor Don Harris, and he's going to speak in a couple of minutes about his efforts to get this park done. This is a $1.7 million facility, and what makes this park interesting is that from a financing standpoint it's $1.7 million, and almost half of that came, or a little over half of that actually came from a city councilor set aside, which came from City Councilor Don Harris. And as you know, a lot of the city councilors get $1 million set aside every 2 years. I think that's still the number, isn't it?
Yep.
Every 2 years. And the councilors use that to do important projects in their districts. And you can always tell what's important to the councilor by where they put their money. And Councilor Harris putting almost $800,000 or a little over $900,000 actually into this project, I think it really speaks volumes to his dedication for this. Behind me are the gentlemen that built this park. These are City of Albuquerque employees. So this was built with our city employees under the direction of DMD. And they just did an absolutely wonderful job. They took this 2 acres that has been here for years and years. It used to be the old maintenance facility, I believe, for the golf course, and they turned it into something absolutely spectacular. So gentlemen, thank you very much for all the great work that you've done. So in this park, there were over 100 new trees planted. They've turned it into what they call an urban forest playground. It is handicap accessible, and one of the things that I think is really interesting is if you walk around the park, it's a turfless park, so it's very water-wise, but it also has all this exercise equipment. So in any neighborhood, and particularly in Foothills, I think it's really great that we have a park where folks can come in and just get their daily exercise. And this equipment is really nice. And I was just told by Greg Miller, who's the principal at Morrow, Reardon, Wilkinson, and Miller, who were the designers for this park, that the park design, or the equipment manufacturer who supplied the equipment for this, is going to use this park as an example for other parks around the country. So to DMD Parks Construction, thank you very much. Barbara Taylor's with us this morning. She's our Director of Parks and Recreation. Wilfred Gallegos, is Wilfred here? There's Wilfred from DMD. Keith Reed is our Deputy Director of Parks and Rec. Thank you so much, Keith. Judith Wong couldn't be with us today. She was the project manager. I thought you weren't here, I was told. But Gary Wolf's, I know Gary Wolf's here as well this morning from DMD. Pete Seiss, appreciate it, everything that Pete's done, and of course the parks construction crew. So I think it's just great to live in a community that really cherishes wellness, cherishes being outside, loves our city, and wants to do everything that we can to make it better every day. And this is a great example of how we do that. And so I want to turn this over to Councilor Harris. Councilor, I want to thank you. This has been a project of his that he's worked on diligently. He's worked with the neighborhood. He's met with them. I hear a lot from the neighborhood about the engagement that you had in this, and the fact that you really paid for the brunt of this park from the appropriation of taxpayer dollars that you have discretion over. Really speaks volumes. So congratulations.
Thank you,
Mayor. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
Well, thank you, Mayor. And of course, the city did this, not me. And I could never have gotten this done without the help of the mayor and help of all the mayor's staff, and at the Parks Department as well as the Department of Municipal Development. And not to mention, of course, well, they've already been mentioned, but to mention again, I should say, all the employees. Because as you go around, if you look at this park, a lot of it's rocks that had to be cut and fashioned and manipulated to work the way they are, which is really kind of magical, really, the way they've all put this together. And these employees did that with their bare hands. And we do have some of the best employees anywhere. The city of Albuquerque has great employees. They work hard, and with our flat budgets, we haven't been able to give them a whole lot of raises over these years, but they still come to work every day, and they do amazing things like this. So thanks again, gentlemen. I really want to thank you. I was thinking that it was almost exactly 10 years ago when I was knocking on doors in Foothills in 2005 when I first won election up here. And I was riding my bicycle around this neighborhood, and I realized there's no park up here. That's not right. There should be a park up here. And I think what happened is that this neighborhood probably goes back to the 60s, 70s when it really got started. And there was a big golf course in the middle of it, and there were some big yards, and people thought maybe they don't really need a park up here. But after I got elected, I realized that they really do need a park up here. A park is a place for the community to get together. 1 second.
We're happy for Southwest Airlines connecting us to the rest of the country.
Sure. A park is a place for the community to really get together. In this case, a park really reflects the community's values. Because you see it's a turfless park. The community wanted it that way. They said, we don't want to waste all this water on grass if we don't really need it. We don't have a big playground in the middle, and we're going to have the city coming in and unloading and cutting the grass and watering this grass. Really, we need a place for people, a place that has a sense of place for the community to get together. And right now you see a lot of trees. These trees are all going to grow, and it's going to be like an urban forest, as the mayor said. And it's going to be something that is just going to be really special. We believe this park is actually going to win awards regionally and perhaps nationally. It is a one of a kind, it is forward looking, and it represents, I think, the city's values of really being on a cutting edge of green thinking, environmental thinking, and this is really going to be a design of a park for the future. And I'm just so proud of our city workers, our city administration, and the neighborhood for all working together to create a beautiful sense of place. And I can't wait and to see how this park flourishes and how the trees grow and how the community grows around it. So thanks again, Mayor, and thanks everybody.
Thanks Don.
Sure.
Appreciate it.